YouTube, what is going on? This is Gino Bonino. I'm making a quick haul video. I have a little bit of everything to show. As you know, a while back I sent some books out to CGC for Fast Track. And at that same time I sent some books for regular grading as well. And just to let you know, the reason I'm mentioning this is because I want to tell you a little bit about the difference in time and turnaround. The Fast Track books took about 22 days. I talked about those. I showed those a video or so ago. The regular books, the ones that went normal time, just came back about a week ago. And the difference in time is about 4 or 5 weeks. So I mention this simply because some of you may want to have books graded and want to know what the difference is. Fast Track is more expensive, about double. But it's much quicker, so if time isn't a factor, consider that. If it isn't a factor, then again, you're looking at about 4 or 5 weeks difference, not 4 or 5 weeks period, 4 or 5 weeks difference between a normal book and a Fast Track book. Anyway, these books were, some were sent out graded and just came back. This is a 797 Amazing Spider-Man. This is the Young Guns version. This is one of those covers, either I've heard comments both sides of the fence, either people love it or hate it. Very colorful, I will say that. It sort of reminds me of kind of a watercolor behind Spidey, but I like the perspective of the web shooting towards you. That's kind of why I wanted to get it slapped. Came back as a 9.6, happy with that. Next one from the same batch is Venom Lethal Protector, the regular A red version, 9.8. Then I've got a couple McFarlane Spideys. I've got 298, which came back as a 9.6, and I have a 299, which is the first cameo of Venom, came back at 9.2. Pretty much expected that. I didn't really baby these books. These books were actual reader copies and stuff like that, but I did want to have them slabbed, so I'm glad they did what they did. I always mistake them. They're very similar. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but they're, you know, the same sort of characters in front and all that. Of course, they're different position. The Amazing Spider-Man is a different color, you know, the title, but other than that, they're very similar books. Again, I have to always check before I mention what one's what. Another book I got was 795. This is the what I call the Hulk cover of that, the Hulk variant. And this came back 9.8. And a same 797. This is the, what I guess, the McGinnis variant. I call it also it's kind of the Red Goblin cover. I really liked it. That's kind of why I had this one slab. And then in honor of Doom, you'll love this. This is 880 Detective with the Jacques cover, Joker. This is one of those books that I saw for the first time. I think Doom, actually one of his videos, and when I just fell in love with it. You know how every once in a while you'll see a book and you'll just want it? That's kind of what I did with this. I got this on eBay. I think I paid 80 bucks for it. Got it slabbed, and this is one of those that I just really like. It's a very much a iconic cover, similar to like Hulk 340, that just kind of, you know, just takes your eye, you can't take your eyes off it. I really like this. Not a comic book, but I also picked this up. This is a DVD. It's called Comic Con, episode 10, A Fan's Hope. And the main reason I got this, it's got 2 little action figures. And the bottom one is Stan the Man. Check that out. I thought it was cool. Anything you can get with Stan Lee's like this, I try to collect. He was a big hero of mine when I was collecting comics. That's it for slab books. As far as back issue pickups, I picked up a X-Men 213, which is the second battle between Wolverine and Sabretooth. I picked up a Venom 5. I mean 6, excuse me. I really like that cover. I got a all-new Wolverine first copy, but this is the action figure variant. Then, if you do see these books, guys, well, actually, let me show this instead. I picked up this in a dollar box. An old ROM I get anytime I see those now because of the upcoming possibility of movies and stuff. I've been getting this, and I got an old Miracle Man 23. I really like the new series, so I've been trying to fill a run of the old one. That too is a dollar box. Then, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, Marvel Premiere 19. There's a preview in this for Wolverine. I think it predates. It's actually a preview for Hulk 181. And it predates, I believe, 180. I'm not positive. I don't say that for sure. So I think this is the first actual to print version of Wolverine. It's about very near the last page. It's on an ad page, and it's near the bottom. But it does have Wolverine, actually 2 drawings of him from the comic 181 itself. So this is kind of just a cool, for the Wolverine fans, completionists, Wolverine completionists, people that want to have everything he's in. This is a good one to get just because, again, it's sort of the first preview. I know people are starting to make a big deal of that when things show up like in Marvel Age and whatnot. That's truly, is that the first appearance or whatever? In my opinion, it's not. It's just, but it's still interesting. And then a couple books, if you see them out in the wild, I would keep an eye on them. I did pick up this on eBay. It's a Swamp Thing 3. This is going to have a direct tie-in to the upcoming series. I forgot the character, but it's, I think, the woman that's in that. It's those of you that are better at names and whatnot, if you want to list that below, that's cool. But anyway, this is issue number 3, which is a good one to get. And I pick up these whenever I can find them. I flip these. They flip all day long. I've got it listed on eBay right now with some bids on it. It still has a tie-in with Infinity War. I think it's the first appearance of Glavis, one of the Dark Order people. This is the first appearance, so for that reason it's a good book to grab. Usually, or often, it'll have the comic book stores. There's a place for it. It was a free comic. It'll have a stamp place in the back. This one doesn't have a stamp on. That's cool. And I picked this up and I flipped it immediately. In fact, I got to send it out. This one is the Peggy Carter Exiles 3 variant, and again, this book is real hot right now. I imagine that probably the print run was pretty small on them. Another book that I flipped, and I've got to send it out tonight as well, is Punisher Max 5. This has to do with the new Bullseye that's going to be in the second series coming on Netflix. If you see this book, guys, this flipped in about 3 hours time. I bought it yesterday when I picked up my books at my LCS, and I listed it with a buy it now. I should have probably put it higher. I was kind of underestimating how hot the book would be. It is sort of a ghost. If you look for it anywhere, if you go to any of the comic places, Gmart, whatever, you won't see it. It's sold out. So again, I should have known better, but I actually found this. It wasn't in order. It was stuck in the middle of some regular Punishers. I was looking. 5 and 6 are what you want to get. But anyway, what I was saying is I paid $1 for it, and I put it up for, I think, $29. And it flipped immediately. Like I said, within 2 or 3 hours it was gone. So just so you know, if you have a chance, this book is red hot right now. My recommendation would be, if you see it in your LCS, pick it up for sure. If you want to keep it, fine. If you want to flip it, you'll have no problem doing that. I also picked up the set of Deadpool, the miniseries 1 through 4. They're all kind of similar looking books. And speaking of flipping, we have to say goodbye to this guy. My Iron Man 55. I had it up for $6.95 and ended up going for about $600. I took it. I figure it's cooling off just a little bit. You know what's happening right now. I always feel that the public opinion sort of can keep one movie hot per time, and what's happening right now is Infinity War, although it's still hot, is kind of on a downslope as far as cooling off, and Deadpool 2 is on the way up. So I took the most of the offers were coming in about the 450, 475 range. Somebody came in with a 585 plus shipping, so I took it. I bought this in the late 80s at a convention in Los Angeles. I paid $30 for it, so that was a pretty good profit. It had a pretty decent spine roll on it, which was pressed out. It looks nice. So again, it's actually a sweet book. I mean, again, what I should have probably done was had it slabbed myself and sold it that way, but it's raw, it's hot, so I figured now's a good time to sell it. So it's gone. Got to ship that out. That's going to get wrapped up and go tonight. I hated to sell it, but again, $600 is $600. I picked up a few of these. These are cooling off a little bit. These are the Hulk 11s. Annuals, the first Erie or whatever he could have, basically the Dwarf King, the fellow played by Peter Dinklage in the movie. If you see him, I would still suggest to get it, because if you go by the movie, he made the Infinity Gauntlet as well as the Stormbreaker, and for that reason, it's a pretty key book. Then, kind of another spec thing I picked up are V Wars. These used to be super hot books, and then they cooled off a little bit. But my understanding is there's an option on a movie or a series come to Netflix, and for that reason I'm going to put these away, let them sit in the dark for a little bit, and when the movie or the series comes out, I'm guessing that they'll probably warm up a little bit. So again, these are going to kind of take a little nap, and we'll wait and see what happens. Another along those same lines is Failsafe, which again is optioned by Netflix. I was just able to get the second issue. The first one is kind of hard to get, especially nowadays. But this is another, if you've got Failsafe sitting in your box somewhere, know where it is, because my understanding is this is probably going to warm up pretty soon as well. And from there's a guy that I know that had an ad in Facebook that sells books, and I picked this one up from him. This is Batman 655. I think it's Damian or whatever, Wayne. Kind of a hot character from the, from Batman Left Ethos and the TV series and stuff like that. Speaking of flipping, if anybody needs some of these, I've got a few of them. These all were in the same batch as the one that graded the 9.8. So if you know anybody that's looking for some Venoms, let me know. I do have a few. And I just had some mail call today. I want to show you guys this. This is a book you probably haven't seen before, because they're so kind of underground books. I know my brother used to collect these. I remembered from when I was a little kid. So somebody was selling them, and I decided to pick them up. These are true underground comics. This is called Black and White. And then original Zap comic. This is, again, those of you that are over 35 years old will know what this is. This was like, again, kind of, they dealt with underground stuff before underground stuff was trendy. I remember my brother having these. This was a book that I've been looking for a while. It's hard to find in good condition. This one is pretty trashed. It needs a good pressing. It's all, again, but it's complete, and it's a nice book. So I figured I'd get that. This is called Slow Death Funnies. Again, along the same line. This is called Junk Wafer. Number 4. And I don't even know what the heck this is. What the hell? Checkered Demon. kind of an adult themed book. It's got some stuff on the back. Then I've got Brain Fantasy. This all came today. And Nard and Pat. Again, these were kind of, I don't know if you're real familiar. There's a mini-series called Crumb, or a documentary called Crumb, and he did some of the work, and he was an artist that worked on this stuff out of San Francisco, and it was pretty cool. And I think that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you all that. Again, the thing to take away from all this, if you can find those Punisher Maxes in your LCS or in your collection, pull those. Those are super, 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 super lightning hot right now. If you got them, you'll have no problem selling them for 30, 40, 50. I could have probably asked $60, and I bet I would have got it. But again, I wasn't, I didn't want to. Hey guys, my camera died there. Sorry about that. Ran out of battery on this just fine operating piece of equipment. Couple things I would just want to add this up, and I'll probably splice this in somehow, so you might get a glitch. What I was going to say is the takeaway from the video today is this. If you see this book here, or the other one, number 6, which has like a little, kind of like a bullseye, literal bullseye on the bottom, a blue bullseye or purple or whatever, pick it up. These books, again, super, super hot right now because the announcement was just made that who the villain is going to be in the second episode. And also, if you see this, get this as well. If it's at your LCS, there's not a lot of them, but if you can, pick it up. This is super hot. Immediately when this hit the airwaves, people started going crazy for it. So these two books, plus again the other Punisher Max number 6. Keep in mind there's 2 Punisher Max. This is the 2010 series. Don't mistake it. Make sure and look at your cover. There's also, I think, a 2016 or 2014 Punisher Max as well. It has a picture of Frank Castle on it. Don't mistake the two. They're completely different books. And that's it. So that's it, guys. Again, this is Gino Bonino. Have a good weekend. I have to wrap this up. I'm going to run out of battery again. Y'all take care. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure and like. Make sure and subscribe. Tell your friends. And I will talk to you later, guys. Have a good weekend. And I am out of here. Happy hunting. Bye-bye.